my name's Kaylee, and I'm a Communication Studies major here at Azusa Pacific University. I can already tell by your puzzled face you have no idea what that means, so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what Communication Studies is and why it's so important to me, and why I love what I do. According to Wikipedia, Communication Studies looks a little bit like this. Really boring, really one-dimensional, not a lot to explore, doesn't show anything. So I want you to take what you have previously conceived as Communication Studies and just like show it off in the corner. Because to me, Communication Studies looks a little bit like this. Well, this isn't exactly a toolbox or what I wanted to use. It's going to work for my illustration. My major has allowed me to do so much. It's allowed me to explore friendships, relationships, personal development. I joke with my friends that I think even though Communication Studies branches off from the English department, I really think it's part psychology and English mixed together because I've been able to learn a lot about how to deal with people. My time at APU has helped solidify my knowledge of communication throughout several different experiences. Through living in the dorms, to studying abroad, to being a resident advisor, I've been able to use what I've learned in class practically, and because of that, I've grown more in love with communication. My toolbox has a lot of different tools in it. While it doesn't seem like this guy holds a lot, and it really doesn't, but in my mind I have a lot more because of the classes I've gotten to take at APU. Thanks to the way that my degree is set up, I've taken everything from public relations to conflict management, interpersonal communication, leadership communication, writing for communication. Basically, if it's any kind of topic within the working field, I've taken a class on how to communicate in that field. The emphasis that I specifically chose within the communication department is interpersonal and organizational, because I really want to understand how people work, how organizations work, how as different teams, as different sections, different departments, whatever it is, and however a system's set up, I want to know how to communicate in it. And the best part about my degree is that all my classes work interdependently together, because what I've learned in interpersonal communication about how to talk in a relationship between your boss and yourself relates to what I learned in leadership communication when I'm talking about how to best build up an employee or how to best support a boss with a hard decision. I love that about my degree. It seems like communication is this giant puzzle, and slowly but surely throughout my 4 years I've been able to find different pieces of communication, piece them together, and then figure out kind of how this world works. For me, the coolest moment when I got to share my passion for communication happened when I was studying abroad in South Africa during my sophomore year. We were working with different service sites, and my service site specifically worked with teaching a life skills class within elementary schools within the township that we were in. In this elementary school, the life skills class talks about basic things about how to work on balancing a checkbook, how to handle conflict management, little things like that that are literally life skills. And our group got asked to teach a lesson on communication. My group right away knew that I'd be the person to do the talking, so I just went with it and said, okay, what do I think everyone needs to learn about communication? The top two things I taught in that class were active listening, which is fairly simple, a topic that you think like most people would just know off the top of their hand, but something that you do have to share a lot. And teaching this group of 6th graders the basic receiver, sender, message model that we all learned in our Comm 101 class. I absolutely loved it up there. I never thought I'd be the one who wanted to teach or wanted to share anything, but it was so cool to bring a little bit of what I knew from the US and share it with them in South Africa. The most affirming moment out of that came when this one little girl, her name was Zanella, she comes to me and she said in her really broken English, that makes so much sense. And she, you could see in her face that she had this moment of clarity of oh, so messages sometimes can't be received. And to me, that explains exactly why I'm studying what I'm studying. Communication is about real life. It's about taking miscommunications, taking them apart, seeing the pieces, and putting them back together in a way that's going to make it work. Applying communication studies to my future work environment is something that I'm very excited to do. Because I've gotten this degree, I have this big toolbox that I keep referring back to that I want to use in whatever work environment I end up being in. People can always learn how to file papers, how to work different departments, how to understand programs, all of that stuff. But what my degree's taught me is how to work well with others. And I feel like that's something you don't get to see every day. I've gained the tools to learn how to observe an environment, see the different angles, learn how to work from those multiple angles, as well as keeping things in check. The things that are left unsaid are the things that I tend to pick up on. And those are the things that I bring into the light and bring into an organization. Thanks for watching.